Lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. I didn't tell my poor dad I wasn't being paid. He would not have understand, and I did not want to try to explain something that I did not yet understand myself. For 3 more weeks, Mike and I work for 3 hours every Saturday for nothing. The work didn't bother me and the routine got easier. It was the missed baseball game and not being able to afford to buy a few comic books that got to me. Rich Dad stopped by at noon on the third week. We heard his truck pull up in the parking lot and sputter when the engine was turned off. He entered the store and greeted Miss Martin with a hug. After finding out how things were going in the store, he reached into the ice cream freezer, pulled out 2 bars and paid for them and signaled to Mike and me. Let's go for a walk, boys. We crossed the street, dodging a few cars, and walked across a large grassy field where a few adults were playing softball. Sitting down at a remote picnic table, he handed Mike and me the ice cream bars. How's it going, boys? Okay, Mike said. I nodded in agreement. Learn anything yet? Rich Dad asked. Mike and I looked at each other, shrugged our shoulders, and shook our heads in unison. Avoiding one of life's biggest traps. Well, you boys had better starting thinking. You're starting at one of life's biggest lessons. If you learn the lesson, you will enjoy a life of great freedom and security. If you don't learn the lesson, you'll wind up like Miss Martin and most of the people playing softball in this park. They work very hard for little money, clinging to the illusion of job security, looking forward to a 3 week vacation each year, and skimpy pension after 45 years of work. If that excites you, I'll give you a raise to 25 cents an hour. But these are good, hardworking people. Are you making fun of them? I demanded. A smile came over Rich Dad's face. Miss Martin is like a mother to me. I would never be that cruel. I may sound cruel because I'm doing my best to point something out to the two of you. I wanted to expand your point of view so you can see something most people never have the benefit of seeing because their vision is too narrow. Most people never see the trap they are in. Mike and I sat there uncertain of his message. He sounded cruel, yet we could sense he was desperately wanting us to know something. With a smile, Rich Dad said, "Doesn't that 25 cent an hour sounds good? Doesn't it make your heart beat a little faster?" I shook my head. No, but it really did. 25 cents an hour would be good bucks to me. Okay, I'll pay you $1 an hour, Rich Dad said with a silly grin. Now my heart was beginning to race. My brain was screaming. And take it. I could not believe what I was hearing. Still, I said nothing. Okay, $2 an hour. My little 9-year-old brain and heart nearly exploded. After all, it was 1956, and being paid $2 an hour would have made me the richest kid in the world. I couldn't imagine earning that kind of money. I wanted to say yes. I wanted the deal. I could see a new bicycle, new baseball gloves, and adoration of my friends when I flashed some cash. On top of that, Jimmy and his rich friends could never call me poor again, but somehow my mouth stayed silent. Maybe my brain had overheated and blown a fuse, but deep down I badly wanted that $2 an hour. The ice cream had melted and was running down my hand. The ice cream stick was empty, and under it was a sticky mass of vanilla and chocolate that ants were enjoying. Rich Dad was looking at two boys staring back at him, eyes wide open and brains empty. He knew he was testing us, and he knew there was a part of our emotions that wanted to take the deal. He knew that each human being has a weak and needy part of their soul that can be bought. And he knew that each human being also had a part of their soul that was strong and filled with a resolve that could never be bought. It was only a question of which one was stronger. He had tested thousands of souls in his life. He tested souls every time he interviews someone for a job. Okay, $5 an hour. Suddenly there was a silence from uh, s- suddenly there was a silence from inside me. Something had changed. The offer was too big and had gotten ridiculous. Not too many grown-ups in 1956 made more than $5 an hour. The temptation disappeared and a calm set in. Slowly I turned to my left to look to Mike. He looked back at me. The part of my soul that was weak and needy was silent. The part of me that had no price took over. There was a calm and a certainty about people that enter my brain and my soul. I knew Mike had gotten to that point also. Good, Rich Dad said softly. Most people have a price, and they have a price because of human emotions, name, fear, and greed. First, the fear of being without money motivate us to work hard, and then once we get that paycheck, greed or desire starts us thinking about all the wonderful things money can buy. The pattern is then set. What pattern, I asked? The pattern of get up, go to work, pay bills, get up, go to work, pay bills. Their lives are then run forever by two emotions, fear and greed. Offer them more money and they continue the cycle by also increasing their spending. This is what I call the rat race. There is no another way, Mike asks. Yes, said Rich Dad slowly, but only a few people find it. And what is that way? Mike said. Mike asked. That what I hope you boys will find out as you work and study with me. That is why I took away all forms of pay. Any hints, Mike asks? We are kind of tired of working hard, especially for nothing. Well, the first step is telling the truth, said Rich Dad. We haven't been lying. I said I did not say you were lying. I said to tell the truth. Rich Dad came back. The truth about what? I asked. How you are feeling? Rich Dad said, you don't have to say it to anyone else, just yourself. You mean the people in this park, the people who work for me, Miss Martin, they don't do that? I asked. I doubt it, said Rich Dad. Instead, they feel the fear of not having money. Instead of confronting the fear, they react instead of think. They react emotionally instead of using their heads. Rich Dad said, tapping us on our head. Then they get a few bugs in their hands, and again the emotion of joy and desire and greed take over. And again they react instead of think. So their emotions do their thinking, Mike said. That's correct, said Rich Dad. Instead of telling the truth about how they feel, they react to their feeling fails to think. They feel the fear. They go to work hoping that money will soothe the fear, but it doesn't. That old fear haunts them, and they go back to work hoping again that money will calm their fears, and again it doesn't. Fear has them in this trap of working, earning money, working, earning money, hoping the fear will go away. But every day they get up and that old fear wakes up with them. For millions of pupils, that old fear keeps them awake all night, causing a night of turmoil and worry. So they get up and go to work hoping that a paycheck will kill that fear, gnawing at their soul. Many is running their life and they refuse to tell the truth about that. Many is in control of their emotions and hence their soul. Rich Dad sat quietly, letting his words sink in. Mike and I heard what he said, but really did not understand fully what he was talking about. I just knew that I often wondered why grown ups hurried off to work. It did not seem like much fun, and they never looked that happy. But something kept them hurrying off to work. Realizing we had absorbed as much as possible of what he was talking about, Rich Dad said, I want you boys to avoid that trap. That is really what I want to teach you, not just to be rich, because being rich does not solve the problem. It doesn't, I asked, surprised. No, it doesn't. Let me finish the other emotions, which is desire. Some call it greed, but I prefer desire. It is perfectly normal to desire something better, prettier, more fun, or exciting. So people also work for money because of desire. They desire money for the joy they think it can buy, but the joy that money brings is often short lived and they soon need more money for more joy, more pleasure, more comfort, more security. So they keep working thinking money will soothe their souls. That is troubled by fear and desire, but money cannot do that. Even rich people, Mike said, rich people included, said Rich Dad. In fact, the reason many rich people are rich is not because of desire but because of fear. They actually think that money can eliminate that fear of not having money, of being poor, so they amass tons of it only to find out the fear get worse. They now they now fear losing it. I have friends too who keep working even though they have plenty. I know people who have millions who are more afraid now than they now than when they were poor. They are terrified of losing all their money. The fear that drove them to get rich got worse. That weak and needy part of their soul is actually screaming louder. They don't want to lose the big house, the car, the high life that money has bought them. They worry about what their friends would say if they lost all their money. Many are emotional, desperate, and neurotic, although they look rich and have more money. So, is a poor man happier? I asked. No, I don't think so, replied Rich Dad. The avoidance of money is just as psychotic as being attached to money. As if no clue the town derelict went past our table, stopping by a large rubbish can and re- rummaging around in it. The three of us watch him with great interest when before we probably would have just ignored him. Rich Dad pulled $1 out of his wallet and gestured to the older man. Seeing the money, the derelict came over immediately, took the bill, thanked Rich Dad profusely, and hurried off ecstated with his good fortune. He is not much different from the most of us employees, said Rich Dad. I've met so many people who say, "Oh, I'm not interested in money," yet they work at a job for 8 hours a day. That's denial of truth. If they weren't interested in money, then why are they working? That kind of thinking is probably more psychotic than a person who hoards money. As I sat there listening to my rich dad, my mind was flashing back to the countless time my own dad said, "I'm not interested in money." He said those words often. He also covered himself by always saying, "I work because I love my job." So, what do we do? I ask. Not work for money until all traces of fear and greed are gone. No, that would be a waste of time, said Rich. That emotions are what make us human, make us real. The word emotion stands for energy in motion. Be truthful about your emotions and use your mind and emotions in your favor, not against yourself. Whoa, said Mike. Don't worry about what I just said. It will make more sense in years to come. Just be an observer, not a reactor to your emotions. Most people do not know that it's their emotions that are doing the thinking. Your emotions are your emotions, but you have got to learn to do your own thinking. Can you give me an example? I asked. Sure, replied Rich Dad. When a person say I need to find a job, it's most likely an emotion doing the thinking. Fear of not having money generates that thought. But people do do need money if they have bills to pay, I said. Sure they do, smile Rich Dad. All I am saying is that it's fear that is all too often doing the thinking. I don't understand, said Mike. For example, said Rich Dad, if the fear of not having enough money arises instead of immediately running out to get a job so they can earn a few bucks to kill the fear, they instead might ask themselves this questions: will a job be the best solution to this fear over the long run? In my opinion, the answer is no, especially when you look over a person's lifetime. A job is really a short term solution to a long term problem. But my dad is always saying, stay in school, get good grades, so you can find a safe, secure job. I spoke out somewhat confused. Yes, I understand, he said that, said Rich Dad, smiling. Most people recommend that, and it's a good idea for most people, but people make that recommendation primarily out of fear. You mean my dad say that because he's afraid? Yes, said Rich Dad. He's terrified that you won't be able to earn money and won't fit into society. Don't get me wrong. He loves you and wants the best for you. And I think his fear is justified. An education and a good job are important, but it won't handle the fear. You see, that same fear that make him get up in the morning to earn a few bucks is the fear that is causing him to be so fanatical about you going to school. So, what do you recommend? I asked. I want to teach you to master the power of money, not be afraid of it. And they don't teach that in a school. If you don't learn it, you become a slave to money.